Today we're going to make pancakes. You don't need the pancake mix that you just add water or even Bisquick because pancakes are really easy to make. I found this recipe on the back of a flour bag about 25 years ago and I've been making them ever since. So it's really easy. You take 2 cups of flour, and I don't sift it because flour is already sifted and it doesn't really matter that much for pancakes. When you buy flour in the store, it's already sifted in the bag. And then you put 2 tablespoons of sugar, and 1 teaspoon of salt. These used to be my mom's teaspoons, so they're very old, and they're my favorite. And it calls for 4 teaspoons of baking powder, and I always use aluminum-free baking powder. 3 teaspoons equals 1 tablespoon. So you can use 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon. But I only use 1 tablespoon, even though the recipe calls for 4 teaspoons. And that's all of the dry ingredients. So once you put the dry ingredients, you use a whisk and mix it up. Just mix it all. And after that's mixed, get 1 egg and let's see, I need my glasses to read this recipe. I forget how much oil. 1/3 cup of oil. So I measure the oil first. And then I just add 1 egg to the oil. So I just measure everything into this 1 2-cup measuring cup. Egg. Beat the egg in there. Stir it with the whisk. And then it calls for 1 1/2 cups of milk. So that right there is about a half a cup. Half a cup. So 1 1/2 would be 2 cups. Would bring it up to 2 cups. There's the end of that milk. Got more milk. 2 cups. So that's 2 cups of liquid ingredients added to the dry ingredients. And you might have to add more liquid, more milk, if it's not the right consistency. Brienne, my filmer. Not so close. So you just want to get all blended and some of the lumps out. You're still going to have some lumps in there. And I never know how long, and I just do it by how it looks. I get the big lumps out. And that's probably too thick. And the longer it sits, the thicker it gets. So I'm going to add a little bit more milk. That was probably maybe 2 tablespoons more. And you can tell there's still some lumps in there, but that's okay. That's what we want. And now it's ready to be cooked on the stove. But first you have to preheat the skillet. I use the flat frying pan, or the flat skillet. This is what I use. And you heat it, you get it nice and hot, spray it with Pam or another spray, cooking spray. Okay, I put the temperature about medium high. Mine goes from 0 to 10. This is gas, and I have it on 6. So between medium high. Spray the pan, and it has to be nice and hot. It's been sitting here for a few minutes, so it's nice and hot. Oh, I forgot a spatula. Okay, and then you just, I have my batter bowl that I've been using for years that my sister painted for me, that I love. It's my favorite bowl. Doesn't sound like it's quite ready, but it'll heat up more. And people make pancakes all different sizes. Sometimes I'll make one big one, and sometimes these smaller ones. When I was younger, they'd have dollar-size pancakes. They weren't really $1, but they call them dollar pancakes, and they're about an inch or two around. So you leave it on until it starts drying around the edges, and we'll show you what that looks like later. I turned the heat up a little bit because that wasn't quite hot enough, and now it's between 6 and 7, and you can tell it's starting to get little bubbles around the pancake. That's what it's looking like. It's been about 3 minutes since I put the batter on, and now it's time to turn them. You can peek to see if it's ready, and that one's ready. And then you just scoop it up really fast and flip it. If it's sticking together, just break them apart. Scoop, flip.
Is that an or brand?
Scoop, flip. Look how pretty those are. These cook 2 minutes longer on the other side, and those look perfect. You can have it with butter and syrup or jam. Our favorite is having peanut butter and syrup. Okay, I turned the temperature back down to 6 because it's plenty hot now, and this is how it should sound. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's much hotter now. I didn't do them perfectly for size. Okay. This is the best way to eat pancakes. Peanut butter and syrup. Yum.